The truth is any personality can thrive on carnivore, but it comes more naturally to some than others. And the challenges are different depending on who we are. Hello, friends. It's the Carnivore Rabbi. A rabbi is a teacher and source of inspiration, and that's what this channel provides for carnivores of all faiths. Welcome. Big question. What personalities thrive on the carnivore diet? This is very important because you have to stick to it, and the kind of person you are really makes a difference. I'm going to simplify it for you. On the Enneagram, there are 9 personality types, but they fit into 3 categories: head, heart, and body centers of intelligence. Of course, we use all 3, head, body, heart. But we have a primary one. I'm a type 7, and types 5 to 7 are head types. We tend to live in the mind. We look at problems rationally. Body types tend to go with the gut. They go with their impulses. The body reveals truth to them. And then they're the heart types. The heart types, many of my family members, are empathetic, emotionally moved, impulsive. They're the type of people who will give money to someone on the street without a thought. So which of these 3 personalities thrives on carnivore? And what are the unique challenges for each one? Of course, at the outset, I must say, anyone can succeed on it. It's a simple diet. But personalities matter. And if you want to take this test, tap the link. I include it. It's free. I get nothing from it. It's just very helpful. I think the best for carnivore are the head types. Now, it may sound like I'm tooting my own horn, but this is my observation. Becoming a carnivore is a very rational decision. It does not rely on the body initially. It does later, but initially the body feels weird. Think about it. You get keto flu, diarrhea. You have to rely on your head, knowing that you've made the right decision. And truthfully, the mental clarity is the greatest benefit of carnivore. Ask anyone who has been a carnivore for more than 4 months. They will tell you that they may have come for weight loss and physical health, but they stayed carnivore for the mental health effects. And you start to feel the mental clarity even before you lose weight. I felt it after a week, 2 at most. The challenge for head types is arguments from other dietary schools. See, we head types, we tend to trust credentialed people. And seeing prominent doctors and Harvard say how much we need vegetables is jarring. And they can make seemingly logical and sound arguments. Of course, we can too, and we can demolish those arguments, but they can be appealing to people that aren't really into carnivore. Unless you have a lot of self-confidence, and that's something the Enneagram tends to associate with social confidence, not independence. It's a whole rabbit hole. But unless you have that confidence, it can be hard to stick with carnivore if you're a head type. Now that's where the body type comes in. If you are a head type and you have a strong second in body type, you may be more likely to stick with carnivore because you see how much carnivore benefits your body. You may not have seen that at first, but you see it after you've been carnivore for a little while. And it's not just weight loss, it's the youthful appearance. I happen to be a little flush because I went for a 15-mile run, but it's the youthful appearance and it's the overall clarity in our body, our mental health. Our mental clarity and a calm body, they're not separate. They're all connected. And that brings us to the next likely type to succeed on carnivore. And that's the body type, as I just started to discuss. Body types tend to have a good feel for their body. They are often athletes, musical performers, good public speakers, and they can get a feel for others in the room. They have very instinctual, good instinctual senses. They tend to be more physically fit than other types. Many people at the gym are likely body types. So, the surge in energy you get as a carnivore can appeal to this group. I find in my anecdotal work that the body types are very likely to stick with carnivore. They see the impact it has. Body types tend to be more instinct, and I also find that carnivore hones our instincts and impulses. It sharpens them. Body types may have a harder time getting through the keto flu, But once they realize you can thrive on carnivore energy, they stick with it. I think Dr. Chafee is likely a body type, probably Enneagram 8. Body types tend to have very strong convictions. They don't see the world in black and white necessarily, but they have a deep sense of right and wrong. Many leading carnivores have that. We have to. They know we have been wronged by the health and nutrition establishment, so they have a commitment to stick with what's right. One challenge for body types, and I'm thinking more the extreme body types, is some people do the extra punch that carbs can give. Carnivore gives you a calm energy. Carbs can give you a intense energy. And some body types are so active that they can be healthy even with some carbs. They might not see as many of the benefits of carnivore as others. But body types with a secondary center of head of intelligence are more likely to stick with it. And remember, this is all general. There are many exceptions. Every individual has unique life circumstances, health issues, so much more. These are generalities we can use and see if they resonate with you. The more you know about yourself, the more effective you can be in figuring out how to sustain this extraordinary way of eating, this life-changing way of eating. And this self-knowledge is so important because the culture does not reinforce our way of eating. We have to have self-knowledge to know what's right for us and how to stick to it when we are being constantly distracted and pulled away. That's what knowing your personality can do in a nuanced way, can help you. Third type, the heart type. Now, as I said earlier, most of my immediate family, they are heart types. And unfortunately, they're the most hesitant to embrace carnivore in my experience. Now, sadly, one reason is the moral one. There are heart types who have a visceral feeling that killing animals is wrong, that carnivore has these predator implications, that you're just destructive. Of course, that's totally wrong. Any logical person knows that. Carnivore is so much better for the environment and kills way less of God's creation than vegans do. Vegans destroy soil, they destroy animals. It's horrible. And obviously, eating meat is part of the natural order. God created the world with predator and prey, or evolution, predator and prey evolved. That's how the world sustains itself. But the image, the perception, is that carnivore diet is bloodthirsty and heartless. So some heart types may have a hard time trying carnivore. Also, the social pressure some carnivores experience is hard for the heart types. They tend to be more social, more relational. It can be hard to be a carnivore as a heart type because you can't go out to meals too much or indulge at parties very much. It's possible, but it makes carnivore harder. Social connection is important to heart types. And as I said, carnivore makes that harder. Again, this is not true for everybody, and I know several successful heart-type carnivores. But these issues emerge. Feeling the closer connection with nature and with animals can actually help heart types thrive on carnivore. So this is the counter. This is the way you can engage people or engage yourself if you're a heart type. Some Native American practices include a blessing thanking nature for the animal immediately after slaughter. That can appeal to a heart type. There's a closeness to animals and nature. I feel much closer to nature as a carnivore. That's a heart feeling. We're grateful for the blessings, the gifts that nature gives us. And heart types thrive on feelings. And in fact, I think many heart types end up succeeding on carnivore because it puts us in closer touch with our feelings. I meditate, and I have become so much more aware of my emotions, or have a greater clarity about my emotions since I've been carnivore. It's really remarkable. Carnivore promotes joy and clarity as well. It's not that we don't get sad or angry as carnivores. Of course we do. We're human. These are human feelings. Carnivore doesn't solve any problematic human emotions. It's just that we are more clear about and aware of our emotions. We're more resilient. Heart types tend to be the most passionate about carnivore once they discovered it. So it may be hard for them to get going, but once they don't relent. The truth is any personality can thrive on carnivore, but it comes more naturally to some than others. And the challenges are different depending on who we are. So why should you care about all these nuances? Because we need to know ourselves to succeed, so you can find the best way to keep going. It's easy for me to say, just eat meat and drink water, but sticking to it can be hard. And the more you know yourself, the more likely you are to thrive.